Hey guys, it's Molly and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen my last video yet, go check it out. If you are a new viewer, hi. My name is Molly Davis and I'm an 18-year-old college student who has a stutter. And this is true life on MTV. Kidding, and that's the second time I've made that joke. Anyways, so in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience taking a public speaking class as a person who stutters. I took a public speaking class my first semester of college last fall. I had a great time, so I just wanted to talk about that and then to also encourage people who stutter, who are intrigued with public speaking but are scared to take the class, or a class that like involves public speaking period, to not be scared and to go for it. So I took a public speaking class my first semester of college last fall because I had gained some experience with public speaking, but I had kind of jumped in headfirst, like without any classes or training, and so I wanted to take a class to further my knowledge and to help me be a better public speaker. So that's why I took the class to begin with. I was concerned about having a stutter because in public speaking classes, at least at the college level and at least for the class I was a little nervous about taking it as a person who stutters, because at least at the college level and at least for the class that I was taking, speeches that were graded were timed, and I was concerned that I would have trouble with like the time constraints because, you know, sometimes it takes me a lot longer to say things. So I wasn't completely fearless, but I wasn't terrified either. I was confident in my abilities to do the best that I could, and I encourage other people who stutter to have that confidence too. So taking the class as a person who stutters, I credit a lot of my positive experience to my professor. I had a great professor who was very, very understanding, and she didn't treat my stutter as something that was holding me back. She didn't point it out to me as a bad thing. She treated me the same as the rest of the class, and that's all I wanted. I could have gone to the academic dean and said, hey, like, I have a stutter, like, can you like talk to my professor, like, because it is a disability, but I chose to not do that, and if others choose to do that, that's your choice to make. Have fun with that. But I chose not to do that because I don't want to be treated as try to figure out how to read this. I don't want to be treated as abnormal because I stutter. I want to be treated the same as the rest of the class, and that goes for every class that I take, but especially in public speaking, because speaking is what's most impacted by having a stutter, obviously. And going back to my fear about my stutter impacting my grade as it pertains to time limits, I never had a struggle with time limits. I prepared for my speeches by giving myself time to stutter in the time that I was planning for my speeches to take up, and if when I gave that specific speech I wasn't stuttering a lot, then I had things prepared to say in case I wasn't stuttering, and I was going to finish earlier than was intended for the assignment. Now the other, I didn't really struggle with anything besides time limits, but I guess something that was hard. The only other thing that I think I struggled with was towards the end of the semester weighted impromptu speeches, where we pulled a topic like out of like a bucket, and we had 90 seconds to prepare and to speak about it. I struggle with that a lot because I couldn't really plan to like allow time for my stutter or to like think of things to say if I was talking fluidly, because we had like 90 seconds to prepare, and I did okay on it, but that was an assignment that I struggled with because I function with having a lot of time to prepare for things, and the whole point of impromptu speeches is that you don't have time to prepare for that. The whole point of impromptu speeches is that you don't have time to prepare for things. So all in all, I had a great experience taking a public speaking class as a person who stutters, and I contribute that to a lot of things, but the top 3 things I contribute my positive experience to are having a great professor who is extremely understanding and kind. I contribute my positive experience to having confidence in myself as a person who stutters, and having confidence not in spite of my stutter, but having confidence as a stutterer. And the third thing that I contribute to my positive experience was preparing for my speeches as a stutterer and giving myself time to stutter as I was practicing my speeches. Now, on the practicing note, this is like my final point. Now, on the practicing note, this is just my experience, but I can practice a speech and I will speak perfectly fluidly. I will not stutter once. But I go out there to give the speech, I'm confident, I'm not scared at all, and I stutter through the whole thing. So practicing, obviously I think practicing speeches is a great tool that people should use, and I practice all of my speeches, but as it pertains to stuttering, practicing, it doesn't help me to stutter less because stuttering is completely random. So I could practice for like 3 days without stuttering at all, but stutter stun the head. So I could practice for 3 days without stuttering at all, and then stutter when giving my speech because stuttering is random, at least in my experience. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Saturday. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Saturday.